A very good afternoon and welcome to NTV News. I'm Siksha Sharma. Let's take a look into the headlines first. President Ramchandra Paudel authenticates the citizenship ordinance. Authentication comes in accordance with Articles 61 and 66 of the Constitution. Prime Minister Dahal heading to India for an official visit today. Foreign Minister says energy exchange likely to dominate the agenda. North Korea's first space satellite plunges into sea after rocket failure. Says it will attempt a second launch as soon as possible. And NATO deploys additional 700 troops to Kosovo after 30 of its peacekeepers were injured in the clashes. Welcome back to NTV News. We take a look into news in detail now. President Ramchandra Paudel has authenticated the citizenship ordinance. The government on Friday had formally urged President Paudel to put his seal of approval on the citizenship ordinance. President Paudel authenticated the ordinance in accordance with the Articles 61 and 66 of the Constitution following the request of Council of Ministers. The citizenship bill, which was passed twice by the previous parliament, was stopped at the President's office after the then President Vidya Devi Bhandari did not certify during her tenure. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal is embarking on a 4-day official visit to India this afternoon. This is the Prime Minister's maiden foreign visit since taking the Prime Ministerial office for the third time. In the build-up to the visit, the Prime Minister had held a series of consultations with the national political parties. Signing of major trade and transit agreement, energy trade are high on the agenda. The Foreign Ministry, organizing a press meet, said energy trade deal is at the center of the visit. The Prime Minister's entourage consists of 5 federal ministers, including Dr. Prakash Sharan Mahat, Shakti Bahadur Basnit, NP Saud, Prakash Jwala and Ramesh Rijal. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal's visit to India has given special priority to energy trade and investment in the energy sector between Nepal and India. Foreign Minister NP Saud informed that electricity projects, construction of transmission lines and electricity sales have been given special importance to create an infrastructure that can sell electricity in large volumes. Additionally, programs are designed to discuss the issues of reducing Nepal's trade deficit with India, including the issue of easily selling Nepal's agricultural products. During his 4-day official visit to India, Prime Minister Dahal will hold separate meetings with the President, Vice President and Prime Minister of India, as well as address a conference attended by Indian businessmen. 5 ministers, including Foreign Minister and Minister of Industry, will also participate in the visiting team. And let's take a look into a short break here. More news follows up next. To stay with us. Welcome back to NTV News. Towards other developments. Nepal is marking World No Tobacco Day today with slogan of "We need food, not tobacco products." In 1987, the World Health Assembly passed resolution declaring April 7 as the World No Smoking Day and May 31st as No Tobacco Day. Each year, more than 800,000 people lose their life due to consumption of tobacco-related products. In Nepal, each year, more than 27,000 lives are lost due to consumption of tobacco in any form. Meanwhile, Minister for Health and Population Mohan Bahadur Basnit said, owing to the consumption of tobacco products, people have to suffer from disease such as cancer, heart disease, respiratory illnesses, and other non-communicable diseases. Giving warning message on the day, Minister Basnit says the law to ban smoking in public place should be effectively implemented. Towards other developments, where the annual summit of Asia Pacific Tourism and Travel Association, PATA, and Adventure Travel Mart 2023 kicked off in Pokhara. PATA is the umbrella organization of Travel and Tourism Association of the Asia Pacific region. Chief Minister of Gandaki Province Surendra Raj Pandey inaugurated the summit. On the occasion, Province Chief Pandey said that such Efforts made by PATA will help to boost the tourism sector not only in Pokhara city, which has been recently a popular tourist destination. Also, it will help entire Gandaki province and country to promote tourism. The program is joined by Minister of Tourism of Maldives, high-level tourism officials of 7 countries and tourism entrepreneurs of 22 countries. The summit will conclude on 4th of June. Towards the international update, where North Korea has said an accident happened as it planned to send up its first space satellite, causing it to crash into the sea. Pyongyang announced earlier it planned to launch a satellite by 11th of June to monitor U.S. military activities. It now says it will attempt a second launch as soon as possible. The launch sparked a false alarm in the South Korean capital Seoul, while in Japan a warning was issued to residents of Okinawa in the south. Let's take a look into yet another break. Stay with us for more updates. Welcome back to NTV News. Towards other developments, where NATO is deploying 700 additional troops to northern Kosovo after 30 of its peacekeepers were injured in clashes with ethnic Serb protesters amid a long simmering dispute. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg informed this after his talks with Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Store in Oslo. He said that NATO would also put an additional battalion of reserve forces on high readiness so they can also be deployed if needed. The conflict in Kosovo erupted in 1998 when separatist ethnic Albanians rebelled against Serbia's rule, and the latter responded with a brutal crackdown. NATO's military intervention in 1999 eventually forced Serbia to pull out of the territory and pave the way for the establishment of the KFOR for peacekeeping mission. Tesla chief executive Elon Musk is in China as he makes his first trip to the world's second-largest economy in over 3 years. He arrived in Beijing on Tuesday and is also expected to visit Tesla's huge manufacturing plant in Shanghai. The multi-billionaire met China's Foreign Minister Qin Gang within hours of arriving in the country. Musk had not yet publicly commented on the trip, which comes amid tensions between the U.S. and China. A quick look into the highlights of what's coming up next. An all-private astronaut team of 2 Americans and 2 Saudis, including the first Arab woman sent into orbit, splashed down safely off Florida on Tuesday night, capping an 8-day research mission aboard the International Space Station ISS. The SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule carrying them parachuted into the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Panama City of Florida after a 12-hour return flight and blazing re-entry plunge through Earth's atmosphere. The splashdown was carried live by a joint webcast presented by SpaceX and the company behind the mission, Axiom Space. The Axiom 2 crew was led by retired NASA astronaut Peggy Whitson, 63 years of age, who holds the U.S. record for most time spent in orbit with 665 days in space over 3 long-duration missions to the ISS, including 10 spacewalks. And it's time now for Sports Update. Juventus will pay a €718,000 fine as part of a settlement agreement with Italian football authorities over a case concerning payment of player salaries. Juventus were docked 10 points last week over a separate investigation into the club's past transfer dealings. The settlement means Juventus have accepted a 10-point penalty and will not receive a further points deduction. It brings an end to any ongoing cases involving the Turin club. And this brings us to the end of the bulletin. To wrap up, a quick reminder of the top stories. President Ramchandra Paudel certifies the citizenship ordinance. Authentication comes in accordance with Articles 61 and 66 of the Constitution. Prime Minister Dahal heading to India for an official visit this afternoon. Foreign Minister Saud says energy exchange likely to dominate the agenda. North Korea's first space satellite plunges into sea after rocket failure. Says it will attempt a second launch as soon as possible. And NATO deploys additional 700 troops to Kosovo after 30 of its peacekeepers were injured in the clashes. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead. Namaste.